I wonder if I threw away Luther's paper. He gave me a notebook. And he really wanted me to read it. Maybe save it. That might be the one thing I threw away. I don't throw away any papers. I just stack them up. And I get told to throw away early. It's in these boxes. Oh God, I think I did because it's not with the other odds and ends. I think that's the only thing I threw away. And now I know it would have something in it. It would have, right over under the nose of like the whole thing. Okay, so this is going to be about Kennedy. But mixed in with everything and subjective. Me, because it wouldn't be you subjective. Or maybe just wearing a, like, military dog face. There's this guy's, oh my God, he's got the big old military dog face, big old lips. He looks like a fucking caveman. His whole head, but his his whole beard, his lips, extra teeth, and a big old squash nose, Neanderthal nose. And then he's got the younger guy who's like that, but not as much. And he's the younger version, and they talk. And he reminds me of, the older guy reminds me of those two guys. They're up in Seattle or Portland or something. They were talking before the virus came. He's supposed to be a biologist, and they're always fussing and stuff. And he's all squinty-eyed, like he's weird, drinks so much alcohol, but that's all fake. The two people like displaced professors. It is so much like the 70s, though. They are. But the Kennedy, because it didn't happen, it wasn't. I don't think he was assassinated. I don't think he's in on it. The whole thing like that. It probably isn't. It probably took off, or whatever they do. It could be like it's for real, but then the rest of it, but it probably isn't. Probably just all the way. It's easier because either it's like it really happens, he gets killed, and then they have to fuck around doing all this stuff, or he's taken off, and everyone's got their safety valve, or different things. And it's also like what you wouldn't think. And no one's ever said this before either. I can't get this from any like bits and pieces or from watching more TV or talking about it or anything. I just have to kind of retract from the world and think about it, what it fucking is. And the shit, like they just keep piling it on, like JFK Jr. And the wife, the airplane, the whole fucking thing, man, and all the Skakel shit and all the stuff. It's all that Massachusetts. Fuck. Man, there's some video. I'm not sure if that's fake, though. It's not 60 minutes or something. Maybe it is. I think it might be, but YouTube's so dirty, they'll just run all this fake stuff. And, it says, God, this guy from Massachusetts, his department, he doesn't say department, we're in a department, in a certain department, he doesn't say department, but then it says he is in Boston. He's Irish Catholic from Boston, or Irish from Boston. And he does the Nazi rat line. He's supposed to be uncovering that, his section of the FBI. That wouldn't be that same guy, right? Because it's nothing like that. So it's something else. Not the one that I put on. But that guy's Boston too. So the rat line, the Kennedys are the rat line. They ran the fucking rat line. It's with it. And like my parents and the whole fucking thing. So I'm personally involved in all this. And didn't even know. They're getting something after. No, they're running it before, during, and after World War II. they created like the Nazis and Hitler and the whole thing. Damn, man. Yeah, no one's ever said that. I guess you'd be doing the Zapruder film and all the different things and this angles and that. And someone complained. But all that stuff was also, how did the cat get in here? At the litter box. Damn, man, she must have like stuck in when I had the door open. Huh. It's funny. Yeah. Yeah, and then so what I said about Brookline, remember? In Boston? Kind of this weird zone. It's just a feeling, like, and it gets entangled and shit. It's always between stuff, and you have to go around it for things, and it's more, kind of has a bitch shield, maybe, over the years. Thinking you go out a certain way. I wonder. Yeah, thinking more and more. Damn, and then out on the D line. Yeah. How that was. Because it's still there, the thing. That's where the Kennedys grew up. There's their home. And so I think it is still there. Like the center of everything. And they don't, you wouldn't know until you know. But it's still there. That's the center of the fucking country. Of the undercover motherfucker deep state, a certain thing. Or at least that at home part. You can't just keep running. You guys missed it. It went straight right up there and then down. God, one other slip I get ever is thinking my mom lived in Brookline for a year, but I know, because like I used to thought it would be cool, and how it'd be cool, and she was in between places once, and I was wondering, it'd be cool if she came and lived there. It wasn't as expensive too either, I think then. Instead of being in Lowell, but I wasn't sure, or maybe even get a job or something. Because I used to go to that pond. God, that fucking pond they have is like a preserve, and you can go. And they're all weird about every fucking thing. It's all a fucking lie, man. So that's the thing. That's how do they do it? You get the president killed. No, he doesn't, man. They were just undercover motherfuckers running it. Jimmy Hoffa goes undercover. He's with them. The Teamsters, Jimmy Hoffa, the Teamsters with Hollywood, all the trucks and all the shit. It's not like, oh my God, it's the mafia. Like whatever. Like, come on, man. Like, does them. No. And, God, right, hiding in plain sight. Oh my God, I'm the victim of history instead. That's a lie, right? It's a lie. It's a lie. They said, God doesn't put you through anything more than you can handle. It's a lie. It's a lie. That was cool. That was on Court TV. These motherfuckers run Court TV. These motherfuckers are running it. They run it with their theater, their shit. They did the Manson thing too, like that with that Hollywood connection. And the fucking Kennedys. That's the fucking. They had their open Hollywood connection. The patriarch, President Kennedy's dad. He bought up fucking parts of Hollywood. And the Wikipedia says he moved to Hollywood for a while to live there to manage it. So come on, man. That's what that is. And you have Rosemary Kennedy. She goes undercover. That's all lies, lobotomy and shit. Come on. It's all a fucking lie. So yeah, President Kennedy probably wasn't even, I don't think he died or anything. I think they skip out. And it might as well be. Anyway. Damn. See, now when these people look at all this stuff, this happened or that happened, or people here, but see, they don't have the all the way go unless everything's locked up. Who's there? Who's walking around? Why is anyone there? Or what they can say. They'll know all the angles and stuff. And they can openly do it with Secret Service and looking at angles. They got guys that are professional like that, hunting for someone that could be something, except they know everyone's something. You know, they don't have to be in on it. And they get the angles in a certain blind spot in the limo, or if that's even there then, or whatever the hell. It's a Bruder film came later. So Kennedy was doing all the Bay of Pigs stuff, like all that clandestine shit. Bobby Kennedy and President Kennedy, all the shit. Everyone's getting lied to. No one knows, and they even think, God, man. They'll think everything's opposite. There's like the mafia, and there's a deep state that does this, and ooh, they battle it out, or you'd even know or be involved in anything of like one side or the other. Like, damn, man. That's what's going on with all the court shit. It's all like fake. It's all their actors. They have to bring more stuff up there. Now that Epstein stuff, it's all fake, of course. And God, it is. Here's my oops. Yeah, so Bobby Kennedy is like, even be Attorney General, like, oh man, Lyndon Johnson comes in and Bobby Attorney's just, Bobby Kennedy's just so whipped down, he's Attorney General, he's gonna quit after a while and be there for a little while, and really, he's like really on top of his game, the whole fucking thing. It's not like he gets undercut, he's just part of that thing. God, that means everything. So you have McNamara with, God, man, when you have, the Cuban Missile Crisis. Like, God, everyone's just playing their part, like faking it or whatever. And you have all the grain sales to the Soviet Union. They're already working that stuff for the, I think that's one thing to look at. And for the Soviet Union to always be klutzing it up with the farming and having to be sold grain. And it's like part of the deal. Because they have like energy. It's supposed to be like they could grow in Ukraine. And it would just get out of hand. They'd be growing and they'd be selling tractors for real. You know, they use cheap oil to get it. Instead, they would deal with them to be an embargo land where oil is kept expensive, especially after 73. And Soviets being a big part of it, buying up all that grain for the 73. They said they buy it in 72 or something. But it's to have God, they call it the Great Grain Sale or Great Grain Theft or whatever. Like when you look at Soviets buying grain, that's what Google goes to, 72, 73 thing. And everything went up by a third or half or something. The world food prices. Some shit like that. But yeah, they bought up, what is it, a fourth or the half of a third of the grain harvest that year from the U.S. Heavy with the cartel. God, it is. And they just fucking hide out. They trot everyone up to Harvard. The whole world comes through there different ways. Yeah. And somehow they don't just keep it, like, they keep it fresh and keep it like you could find out. Probably, like, somehow it keeps it active, like I come up with it. And they work it a certain way, however the fuck it works. See, because I only know because I figured out it has to be totally independently without any help from anyone, like input, except for down here where they show everything's fake and they keep doing it. And they put this emotional thing on me, like there's something big or like I'm into something. So I got to look that way. Not just like I'm, not like a very important person in some ways or something like that. Like something special went on around me or somewhere. They kind of push that a little bit. Then total questioning or like you think maybe like totally not that way, crazy, embarrassing, whatever. Because that's what you hear, like it would be crazy, not the embarrassing mistake or something. Yeah. Motherfucker. So, but the thing is I only get it because I'm talking. I'm like making this YouTube, so I'm talking to you. That's the only reason why I got it. Now, if you're like hanging around and giving me emotional support or something or saying right, I would, that would be understandable, like emotionally, and you could say if I was saying I couldn't have done it otherwise, it would maybe make sense. I needed that emotional input. Instead, I'm just here and I get told I'm shit, all kinds of shit, but I put it on and I kind of think it's stuff I'm saying is making sense objectively. And I can even do a sort of imaginary thing where I think, imagine that you would listen or agree, or someone would, the thing. And so I'm able to feel that emotional thing. But like I've got nothing from no one, no input, nothing, just slight maybe encouragement sometimes. And before, and when I think back, I get totally told, but it's like through miraculous events, crazy things or different shit. They're just something that runs. And it would get, so that's just like could be low level shit too. That does something. But it's probably always been going on in America with all the real estate, and block busting, all kinds of shit, or driving people out of town or keeping them there. And the real estate values, it's not even a scam. They can actually make it nice and human and worthwhile. Like maybe without it too much cost or whatever, but the thing is, I did have to think someone's listening. And I was always like that. I guess if I got to the point where I was an author, like the traditional, I'd be writing, I'd be able to write this long ass book thinking someone will listen to me, or read it in the future. That's what I'd be doing so I guess it was past encouragement. Like I could use that, but I kind of don't have that at all. Except I do when I'm just, maybe I do. I just never go into anything like this because I wouldn't know. And the thing is, like the method, like every little bit, there's all these things and they fit like a puzzle. But each, like, you take little bits and it'd be like, this is a piece of puzzle. It goes here. Like, if you take like the analogy of a puzzle, even though these are like events, a puzzle is how the different pieces fit together. But if you had like, I guess, 3 pieces or something and put them together, like if it's a real puzzle, you could tell absolutely 100%, wow, it's really good. Maybe, and a lot of these puzzles are cut so they don't repeat like that. You can never fit 3 together. And plus the print would be a little bit look like it. or like, and then you have the box of the picture anyway. But if it had been eroded, maybe the picture's distorted, also stained with other stuff on it, and it's eroded around the edges. Then it gets difficult. Then you have to have a lot of puzzle pieces, and you put them, and you can kind of say how it might fit together, but the edges are eroded. Like how they say South America fits Africa, then had continental drift. And all this stuff, if you see it, look up some YouTube, how this stuff all fits together and how they explain it. But with, and then it'd be like, you'd just be looking at it with intuition, like how much does that fit? Like, or, it's like how much, if you just had random stuff and you had erosion around the edges, and then how much could you get puzzle the pieces to fit together in a certain way otherwise, because then it wouldn't be like it never happens. You have a big box full and you could always get 3 to look like it or whatever. But see, I'm like kind of justifying it. Yeah, I get well, never mind all that. Fuck it, just well, you've heard me doing this. I don't write it out though. Damn, man. But it's like because they lie too. They lie now. You have Trump's ear. That even could be like right in the ear, like for real, and then they do it, and he's so badass. It'd be like, ooh, that's smart. So that Dead Man, right? The movie. Oh, I'm gonna get you back. He gets it in the foot. It's like, ooh, ow, that's smarts. That's smarts. There's a pet over there. And see, that's the litter box right there. Damn, it's a little cold in here too. There's that pet right there. All right. Right, Maui. And then so what would it be? Or what would it mean or something? The thing is, it has to change all the meaning of everything, you would think, right? But that's another thing, because we have I'm not like, it's all the same shit though. And it works without that. And God, it might be, it gets so, like, it's so long and it's been like this, it's like something Napoleon something, right? Maybe. And you see how the world is and all the issues, and it really doesn't maybe mean anything. Or like, wow, that, and then everything changes. The thing is, they admit they're lying now. It's all fake shit. It's all like, all the news articles are written by spam bots, and it's garbage. And furthermore, they'll start a paragraph, and furthermore, in any case, they're like not hiding it. And so, God, that might even be like, it's like, so they already fucking know is a thing. And if you think, okay, so they're in the archives and all this shit, they fucking know what I'm saying, that Kennedy assassination was a fake. They fucking know it. That's why they're doing it. And that's how I'm getting it with the Charlie Kirk thing and all this stuff. Man, dog in the Secret Service. They had to go fuck with me when I went to DC. I'll be running around doing this weird shit. Then I'm gonna go up to the White House. They have to fucking humiliate me. Which I didn't even video it. Sorry, Mike. I didn't even fucking video. Like, and saying, do I need a fucking ambulance? Motherfucker. What a fucking motherfucker. The fat guy. And he's like a fucking Richard Jewell motherfucker has to go, oh, Richard Jewell. Shit. See? Now you know. He's an undercover motherfucker, right? He had to be in on it. He's too perfect. You know, in the move bombing, that was all, those guys all went to the happy hunting ground, and they burned up that whole block. So it's everyone's dogging them. Gonna make a list, checking it twice, gonna see, find out it's naughty nice. Every neighbor bitching about them. They think they burned them out, really just burned the whole block, right? Get it? That was some crazy shit, man. Okay, so, and some of it I get from the Maoists, from Revolution Books, like that one lady. Actually, she worked at Harvard too. She was like a lab tech or something like that, or somewhere. She'd be going around there. And she was cool. She had to be in the same fucking union with Saving Health Insurance. And the way she just said stuff to me, like I knew, it's like all lie. Said all the Civil War was really bad. Which it is, and they do World War II. It ain't them, man. They said you gotta learn, you gotta read, you gotta study. But she's like a true believer and delicate emotionally with it. And you could think, and that's even the cover, right? But she fucking knew, that's the thing. I always think back. Man. You know, when you have Prince Sihanouk, come on, man. All that shit. You know, Jackie O goes there. There's some weird shit. However they battle out. Because you can't just be like, oh, it's all fake. No communism or something like the battles or whatever the fuck. It is like it goes on in some other weird way. And you know, I was going to say, like, damn, man. Yeah, it's all theater. It's all that Maoist theater. Damn, man. They did all the, God. Guys, lying motherfuckers. Okay, so we go through, so what do we got? My whole lifetime from born and before. You have, well, before you have the Korean War. And that's regular war. You know, back and forth. And this one thing was saying, it's like this I always thought it was Giovera, but it's Guavera, like guacamole. Guavera, so Che. He's part Basque too. And he was born in Argentina. So maybe it's related to my wife or something. And all that shit. All those places they go around and God, people don't even know. But he's saying, oh, the Korean War like had been back and forth and wrecking, all the North got wrecked. And then if you think about it, yeah, the battle goes back and forth, wrecking the North. Really bad. So they have all that fighting, but they do, you know, tear it up and up there. Okay, but then we have the Vietnam War. So the whole lesson, oh, you can hide out in the jungle and do shit, right? And I'm all like, do that. I just go out. I want to be in the jungle, and it's like fucking thing. It's like, and it's all a special case, and then they do that anyway, and they're only in maybe, you know, they're fighting them because they want to have a war, get bogged down and lose in Vietnam. That's the whole point of it. Just like the French before, they want to have their jungle problem, and They work out their issues and amongst themselves and stuff. All their undercover stuff. And all their weird hippie stuff and radical shit. And so then you have Central America. So you have the one thing that goes off is Cuba. They run around the jungle for a couple of years, and then boom, they take over. And they have fake ass Bay of Pigs fail. The whole fucking thing. Like, and then act like they're doing fighting the jungle. Really, it's all Nazis in jungle in Bolivia and stuff. Oh, they're saying, yeah, the guys that hunted Che, that was that's where Claus von Bulow was, right? Yeah, directing that shit, or they claim it. He's like the front guy, and you could always trot him out, and everyone will know. Like, there's something. It's a good sneaky undercover bullshit if they're letting him be there. But it's not like unions or anything. It's not unionizing. It's not like a middle-class college kids, and they go to the ghetto or do like my dad. They go down to the civil rights thing and like they're like, "How dare you?" or "We got to go to court." No, it's all goes straight to like, "Let's go hide in the jungle with a gun against the fucking helicopters and shit, and run around the forest, leaving all the cities just like how it is. Not do any undercover shit. Not do anything where we're demanding it be peaceful." And why are you like murdering people? Then they go on, then they finally, when they get shit going, probably Argentina, right? And then they have the September 11, 1974, right? Or was that 73? That was 73, right? Or something. Or Chile, I mean. Now it's all like they fucking let everyone have their politics and crack down because they don't want the middle class. That's the real target. They don't have to have their politics. And damn, so we're just lied to. Then you have the shiny path. That's fake ass shit. They can't. God, Jackie Kennedy, she goes to Cambodia. That's so weird. What was it, 1967 or something? With Prince Sihanouk. And send him out to the jungle to be with a... God, man. That place is just wide open, and they keep it sparse, keep the population down. Maybe that was on purpose. It's like their genocidal shit. That's not like what I was saying. I was thinking of one side versus another, but it probably is their genocidal shit. But all the people doing it don't know. They can just get directed by the big thing. Expensive oil. Damn. Yeah, like so all the Kennedy stuff, the evidence, like this thing, that thing, but it would be like all that shit's in place. Like they got the whole fucking city in place, and the fucking medical examiner, all that shit's in place, and they know how to do it. Yeah. Yeah, you could be shot or not shot, or maybe the governor does get hit or something, or maybe it's all a fucking lie. Huh. It probably... See, the institutional memory and the hope would be... Yeah, the hippie thing, and they were hoping it would continue. And then, so when I'm coming around, it's like up in Boston, it's like 1989. And so originally they were thinking, and maybe you'd have different theories, so the whole theory that it's fake would come out. You have all kinds of crazy this way and that way. And instead everything's closed down, all square and stuff. And then the expensive oil in this whole world, they wouldn't know that. The broad thing wouldn't know that. It's only a specialist thing to be taking direction. I'm just trying to think. Because it'll be in the movies, too. They leak it out. And like that National Lampoon guy, he says he was in that YouTube channel, even though they're like bots or whatever, but that place they go to get those girls in Animal House, that's isn't that Wellesley? It's supposed to be sort of like that, right? And they're all moping around like it's Bobby Kennedy, right? It's supposed to be something like that, or whatever the fuck they do, or before. You know, when they come in, they're playing that weird music, guitars and sad. John Belushi, who knows? And God. God, man. Because it's kind of at the level of like Susan Smith, you know, like the establishment with the Kennedy thing, like how their stories keep going and the Kennedys keep having more stuff go on and more weird shit, more fake stuff. And you have RFK Jr., Bobby Kennedy Jr., with his fake. Yeah. I guess it would be. And with it being all the way fake, you can easily tell. Any rumors, check anything. It won't be just like one person says to another. You know, if they don't get to like it was fake, then the rumors keep changing, you know what I mean? Like about this part of it. Or if someone's ever said something, if you don't get to that, like you know, and if it does get to that, you can even get to the source of it or figure it out. Yeah, and that's why you get some things like the Roswell thing. And they just flat out, like, they don't talk. I think, so anyone, maybe that knows something, it's just there. You can find out whatever the fucking thing the lie is. And so people know, it might not just be people that have a certain amount of information, they speculate. Maybe they get, or they go off to something else. Because like the thing would be like that was fake. You know, it wouldn't be space aliens. It would be like, the more they say that these guys get there's Air Force around and they were showing alien bodies that would just be fake, like someone put it there for someone to see. And I've never heard that. I came up with that years ago. And it's like obvious. It's just, that's what it would be. It's but it's never said. God, man, I was with a source too. Okay, you know, and I can tell like the Air Force where spooky Roswell. I get direct on the fucking feed from them, not because with a fake crazy guy. And I'm not talking about just Fedora, like someone. I went up to New Hampshire going to the mine and stuff. The mica mine, the old mica mine. And they had their Geiger counter. So it's like that. That's not even fucking... God, talking about a Bigfoot, talking about this, talking about that. Oh, he talked about some... He did talk a little some thing with some electronics and radio, because I don't know anything about it, really. It's fuzzy math. I never did it. And studied it. There's probably so much shit you could do with just Radio Shack stuff. You don't even have to get into really good computers, but just things that resonate, things that do doodads and stuff. You know. One of the things that theory I had about that. See, I do that all on purpose. I'm just being retarded. It could be when there's that that tension, like 1 billion volts differential between the clouds and the sky, or like when it's about to snap and have an electrical storm. Maybe you could have a strong microwave beam, maybe even like like a microwave oven or several or whatever. You point that device up in the air, and it's not on the power lines. It could be like you beam microwave right up there, and it acts like a valve, or does something, and that generates waves. Like, so it could be like that. But that's still in different localized areas, and those things would be fed by power from the power line. And they would draw power. And then sometimes that lightning would hit, and guys have to fix the power line, so it all gets involved with that shit. So it might not be actually using the power lines, to generate the those long wavelength waves, if that's what happens. There's got to be some weird shit that goes on though when you have that, because you get what I mean, right? It'd be, if you had a string and you keep pulling it tighter and tighter till it could just snap, like it's got to conduct, right? Like it's, you pluck it and it's got to be just a good conductor, maybe without any mushy springiness that depletes it or whatever. It probably is, man. It's gotta be. Damn. And so would it be like he'd even do the fucking, my uncle would do that causing lightning thing, right? And it could be, then I could go brag about it. It wouldn't even be, oh, that's gotta be that bad. They got it enough. But then later it could be like, they wish they hadn't done that, or it's like whatever ends up. It's not like, oh, would I do it again and wish we could take it back? They'd rather take it back because they don't have stuff built up around it to be like, oh, it's good to know that and find that out. But they would have had that played out. Probably, right? Or it could be a mess up. Yeah, it could be like he got carried away. Oh. Yeah, when he says I was probably drunk. Like, how would he do that, man? I told my uncle, I called him the only time I called him. Man, you guys recorded that too, didn't you? Somebody did, the NSA. Call that motherfucker. He fucking answered, probably knows too. I said, you caused lightning once, right? I said, like, how, that was cool. He said, fuck you, God. And then the lightning struck. And I remember that when I was a kid. It was so cool. It was like there was a God or something. I got to believe in God a little bit or something. Have the fear of God. Have the fear of God put into me. Put the fear of God into these people. And he said, I was probably drunk. I guess he could select different ones. But maybe there's something for real about that. And he wouldn't know. Wait. I don't think I was doing, no, I wasn't writing on forum, so it was before, wasn't it? So I was all alone. I don't think he'd, actually, he probably would. Like, I get listened to around the house, so I could talk about it. God, maybe it would know I'd say that. And then, or then maybe not tell him or something. But if he is fucking up, like he's not supposed to do that part. And that's like the fun part. Yeah. And the grand fucking thing, right? The grand shit. God. Sometimes there's gotta be mistakes and you get a little with it or you can do it. Damn. Yeah. And my aunt, like, yeah, there's this whole other thing. Damn, man. Yeah. Damn, man. Yeah, they're in this. Oh, man. Huh. God. Yeah, where's Framingham? That's, in Middlesex County, isn't it? Or wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Because, oh yeah, that's right. Brookline is, it's weird because that's in Norfolk County. It goes around like a half quarter moon or something, doesn't it? Norfolk County. There's Suffolk County. Cambridge is in Middlesex County. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, maybe in, maybe. And maybe if it's near the coast, it doesn't have to be as strong, that radio waves. It's supposed to go in the ground. It's conducted through the ground, I think. Or something. Or more. God. I guess. So it was. I'm just thinking about all the shit. Like, that was some weird shit in Boston. And then Russia, God, man. Yeah, now I'm thinking back, that State House lady, oh God, that was so cool. Over in Russia, she runs that place, now you know. That's where I learned my attitude from her, some of my attitude. From the State Department lady over in St. Petersburg, Russia. Damn. Yeah, they go like, they're not just like they're dogging them, they're getting their private spots with their undercover motherfuckers, and they can get into some files, or they were trading back and forth from the beginning, and God, one side hides out from the other. Like your undercover business partner, like the Soviet Union, going that's back, and Khrushchev does his shit. That's probably like what they were doing. They're like Soviet Union just got into the undercover business, right? And did that shit. Yeah, then you have the Korea, like all like fucking contrived. And all their fake wars like Vietnam, just kind of contrived. And the Soviets, God, they're talking about how when they bought grain in 73, I guess it's 72, but they get it in 73 or however the fuck it works. The great grain swindle. They got to buy everything up, or half the American grain or something of that year, without anyone noticing. Like everyone lined up. There's probably a lot of truth to it. Like the usual things that I've ever noticed anything. Just don't notice. Like everyone that's supposed to know, oh, someone got the contract. Sorry, or that goes with this. Like you're just sitting there, you didn't just buy it all first. You're busy speculating on other shit. Now, yeah, they all happen to own it, and everyone is going to be our future partner anyway, like everyone. And then they got left holding the bag. It's probably true. But it's probably like the Soviets, or their fucking Wall Street, like, spy already for always, right? And they all work that shit. All goes back and forth. And even all their weird, God, they go undercover communist subversion and be like, no, they got some tight shit, right? That don't leak. And they got their own means of finding out, and it's tight, right? And you can rely on them or lean on them and things back and forth. And you got the whole fucking CIA rat line down to Argentina and all the shit from before. And all the shit all around the world. And every fake fucking, everything's fake. All these proxy wars. Like Vietnam. And the Chinese are fucking run by the CIA, French intelligence, and probably the Russians too. And all that. What? Oh yeah, Mo, did she come in? Oh yeah, okay, good. Oh, he just went in. I'm in the garage. It's not that cold, it's a little colder, but. And oh hell yeah, see, you gotta do a whole rethink. See if the Kennedy, okay, that's why. I know this is going on forever, but you might as well, like, what would you do? Listen to me forever. God, I would, like, I could learn. I listened to it, but, yeah, so all that shit, they were working stuff. They had their undercover Wall Street stuff, and you have all the people like hunting communists for, does certain things. And, some of it's correct. It's not like everyone in the Soviet Union knows. And then you have the intelligence agencies in Russia and Soviet Union can help, like, God, do the markets and stuff, and work one side or the other, be business partners. And the more like it's fake, the more you don't know how the world's really working. You wouldn't know. See, it's like, oh man, Kennedy thing. And like, why would the Soviet Union put up with that? Like, or why would they be in a world where the West does a fake assassination of his president, builds a whole thing up, then fucking pulls the rug out. And it's all undercover secret shit. All with their Nazi rat line, all their shit. All like this shit run out of Boston too. Damn, no wonder I just stayed up here. I stayed. I paid my dues. See, I came down to Cape Coral from New Jersey, and I came, and I didn't just fix myself in there. By my time, I followed a garbage truck around to see what they're doing. I knew. I know my place. I just followed a garbage truck around, see what the hell's going on. Followed a garbage truck for 10 years, you know, and I paid my dues. That's like, hey, what's his name? Oh yeah, I know it's Sam, Dan Shepard. That's him, Dan Shepard, Sam Shepard. Damn, I paid my dues, followed a garbage truck for 10 years, I paid my dues. I used to just hang out there, like walking the same places my dad did, up and going through Kenmore to Boston University, where Radio Shack still is, or still was. All the shit, same place as T.S. Eliot would go. And on Fenway, like, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. That's what it is, man. They were doing all the finance and all the shit. And all the shit they say about the Soviet Union, how it's, communism doesn't work, it's kind of a lie. Like, in competition with the West, it doesn't. They have to have that military stuff. And instead, they know they have to come down. And it's like, they do this stuff. They do undercover police work. You know, they're the Wall Street guy. And then, you know, Senator McCarthy going after them, the whole thing, it's really, they're part of fucking Wall Street. The United States has done its own brand of, like, Maoism. You know, like from Shanghai. You know, with the Soviets involved with that, too. And trade in, you know, Cuba. And keep it all good with the Russian army and the whole thing. And that's what was going on. And you see, because you got to up in the whole fucking world. You can't, because otherwise it's like Kennedy assassination being fake, right? And it just doesn't make sense. And you see, like, what do you absolutely have for anything? Indicators, which I have some, but then you'd have to be God, but it's like opposite, upside down world. What do you mean? The emperor has no clothes? He's walking down the street now, he's naked, buck naked. Well, how could that be? How could people not say and stuff? You know, you actually have to upend the entire world. You mean every time he's walking down there, all those motherfuckers are lying? They just say that shit because someone else said it? Like there's these certain levels of things, right? And it really is. It's just like the emperor has no clothes. It's that moment. Damn. And back in Iowa City, they would have known I could do something like this if I am right. And it's just emperors having those clothes. They know I have the certain independence of mind and all this shit. I think. And they would think, oh, that might be of some use. They wouldn't even know how the fuck the world works and how everything is. And, you know, the thing is ultimately pushing it. Because where the big thing is, where they know if it's the world's upside down, like, that's not going to show on the street. You just got to, like, connect shit, because you're not going to emotionally feel it because no one knows it. And they're truly thinking something else, and they get played one against another, and we go about our life like ants, or like we're in a matrix. But that ultimate thing knows, and that only shows from the, you have to reason it out. And then you can then maybe come back, and if it's like a puzzle. Sigmund Freud did that with his interpretation of dreams. And you listen to what his method was. He's the statistical method, I guess. He just writing down his dreams and his patients' dreams. And then like what coincides, what goes on in a life. And he finally, he started figuring it out. And it wasn't just, it makes sense. It's just things that it is. And then once he figures out stuff, has a working hypothesis, then he try it with stuff. And then a theory in it, and then things fit. Like all these other puzzle pieces all of a sudden fit. Or like bit by bit as you look at them. So I think it is like that. And even the Kennedy thing, jeez, man. And it's either that or something else, and they got their nuclear weapons, and it's like they're not doing that shit. They're doing all the fake world and working together. The thing is, if someone is fluent in English and Russian, and maybe German too, it help to have more. Whatever scientific papers are written in English, and then maybe so you might only need English and Russian. You go back through and you have a particular field, and you're the expert in that field, fluent in Russian and English. And you can actually be in archives of scientific papers and follow it. You might find confirmation. Like with, now that you put this theory onto it, you'd be like, oh yeah, it does, what's the word? It would, it is consistent with that, something like that. Like, that they trade information back and forth and, and then, or withhold it is some weird thing. Like the way the Soviets have the tokamak reactor, or the device, and it's so fucking good. And the West doesn't have a clue, and then they find out, and how anything goes around, or what would, you have to be in that fucking particular field, maybe. Best if it was like during the time. And how is everything working? How is it? How do they come up with this or that or whatever? You might find that things that the world might be consistent with what I'm saying. And that would just seem like it could be spying too, though. Industrial spying. But you have that, and also like, a division of labor too. They have. God, and the Soviets would be doing all their speculating and all their insider shit, buying and selling, and just going and getting trade secrets that way. Not just spying around, but they're like the major stockholder. They got people that work with it, and you can get some spy stuff and get some help. And going all through China, and then China rises. And it's Tiananmen Square. You gotta look back at that because it's all fake, right? Like all this shit, we're supposed to be, the United States is gonna do that shit again right in front of everyone. Like make a big lie. And China's just gonna say they're lying. Everyone's gonna think they're lying. And they're not even, trying to make it. They're not like pushing it, but they act like it. They act like they're the censoring communist government. And they can't keep going with it because they're the ones that are lying. But that ought to show. Damn, man. And they'll be like, it'll just appear as like finance capital and this weird shit. And it just kind of works out in their way. And we kind of notice it because they're impoverishing us right now. Like certain ones. Or they're impoverishing us mentally. Like in socially, as far as like intellectual life. Yeah. God, man. Maybe stuck in this car. Tripod. So you got the big old tripod. Like, I'm gonna do that. Annoying tripod. Fuck, man. Yeah. God. And all their insider trading, so-called, or whatever the hell. And then their bailouts. You got the fake wars. Fake wars, real wars. Tunnels and rumors of tunnels. Damn. Yeah, that theater I was at wasn't just like a nothing or something. Like, you wouldn't fucking know that. Damn. It is a dummy. It's not. God. Yeah, the Kennedys. Damn, then you know. Then you know it makes sense. All the Kennedy stuff makes sense. And all of Vietnam, all this shit. They're just in on it. They fucking run it. That's the fucking thing. The old Joe Kennedy. What's this fuck? And damn, all the Hollywood shit, everything. And they're not hiding it in a certain way. They got all their fake ass trials. They got the Skakel thing. And they got the William Kennedy Smith. And this shit. Well, all the same clowns. And you have all this shit. You have Dershowitz doing OJ. Says he'll be from over. You gotta have the fucking Baby Eapon. God, man. God, they did this shit like that Judge Hillary Sobel. They did the Matthew Eapon trial, Louise Woodward. And he did that fake thing where at the end he just gave her 6 months. Like time served, it was like fucking a joke. Like how he even says she did something. Because it's not supposed to be. Unless he says it's already an injury. I guess it could be misdemeanor child abuse. Because if it's a felony child abuse and a death occurs, in Massachusetts law, it's supposed to be convicted of the second-degree murder. But he was bullshit. He just fucking... This one guy said he's doing somersaults. He's doing somersaults in his ruling. But that guy put my friend out, Gary, put him out in the street. So Gary had always been in Alston. He's the guy who's in the picture at the thrift store with all the coat hangers, and he's got the cool leather coat with stuff stuffed into the pocket. And so he was, God, he's always going to the dumpster, behind the house, the thrift store. Then they closed the house, and then he's hanging out at the other thrift store later. I think that's a picture. But God, he's always there in the neighborhood. Then he moved to, and he lived out in, God, is it Brighton or Brookline? Yeah, out in Brookline, way out further on the D line. He had to get home, had to go around. And then finally stopped living there. And so he went to, God, I guess he did live in a place. Wasn't it in Alston first? He lived somewhere. It was a cool place near Alston. Man, that was all on purpose. So he got in a place upstairs. It was a cool place, too. I know. So it was weird-ass fucking neighborhoods. They go up toward the Coke plant, the old Coke plant, Coca-Cola bottling company. They were signed. Kitty Dukakis didn't like the sign that said, so they hauled it away. Up sort of toward there, or you go up through. Not across that road or anything. And then he moved to Harvard Square, a few blocks off from Harvard Square, going towards Somerville, and it wasn't as fancy back then. It was like God, what would it be, 1994 or 5 or something, I don't know, or maybe before. And so he lived there for a few months, and he got this roommate girl, and then he got kicked out. She went, and it was all this fake shit. That was all like planned to move in, and then get him out, put out in the street. And he was homeless ever since. And he'd just hang around Alston. He'd be back in Alston, only hanging out there because they wanted him there. They're fine having him homeless, bouncing around on the street just in Alston. So he was always in Alston after that. He was never at home. He's just like, a fixture. Like, and you see the picture of him, how he looks. And it's like they sent him to Hitler Zobel's court, and the guy just was a pig. And he knows what he's doing. This racist, nasty shit. He's a nasty motherfucker. He's lying. Just does whatever. Whatever he's told is a fucking fake. And he was homeless ever since. Just fucking automatically ruled against him. Some restraining order thing. It was fucking weird. Kicked out of his own house. Meanwhile, all this shit's happening. Like Matthew Eapen gets his head bashed in. Yeah, and that's really bad shit. Massachusetts is really corrupt. Like Lucas said. Or you say very corrupt, Luke, very corrupt. Really corrupt, very corrupt. So they have to do that. They have to have him there. Because Gary's from something. He's from Buffalo. So his parents are in something. There's something going on. They go, like, it's supposed to be his dad's black and his mom's white. And he comes out. He does look like Pakistani. Like Pakistan. This was one cop, he said, harassed him once and said, "Are you Pakistani?" Man, but he had been through the thing. That's where I get a lot of it from, because he knows something, or there's something it like channels it. And he has a mild, sort of a schizophrenia type personality disorder, they would call it, like a thing. One of those things. And maybe actual schizophrenia. They would say it depends. Like mild. Yeah, because they wanted him there. It's way better with him there. It's like way that better. Well, you saw the picture. God, in hindsight, like I'm thinking that guy is from a department, and the whole department. They put down a whole department, saying we discredit entire department. God, it is, man. See who's naughty or nice. They fucking work that shit out. It's not even just like what they say. And there's no revenge. They'll like say it's all bad. And it might not be exactly what they said. And they're fucking running this shit anyway. And it was never the thing of, like, there's never this, like, great Jewish power. Or you look at what happens with the Holocaust. They say they're so bad. They got all this stuff. So even if there's that power, there's that, like, someone can target you. And they're the real shit that runs shit. And they don't have control over the propaganda and the shit. And their whole social base gets exterminated. Fucking the destruction of everything. No more Yiddish language, no nothing. And everything's like we're in a world where it's supposed to be, someone could deny the Holocaust, so they're going to be fucking censor everything. And it's murderers. People who fucking did it. Because YouTube's really dirty. They do all this shit. Or they run it, they fucking lie. Because they just lie. It's like annoying. YouTube is writing, YouTube's all the way dirty. They run the courts. Google, I think. And remember, I predicted it. They're running it. They're flat out doing all the spam bot, the text generating shit about a case. And it's so good because it's like precise and legal. And it's so much easy to do it. You could just like, this case, what evidence, blah, 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 blah. This video, it appears to show and blah. And you can even like tweak and alter it, you know what I mean? And so the thing can go, and then this witness, but I don't know the credibility or something like that. Their time, their likelihood to testify or come in, it's fucking, they got a fucking program, I swear to fucking God. It can just, like, of anything, it can do that. Like, it's made for that shit. It's like ITIL, that thing, that business thing. That programming businesses through all these things and shit. And it's just, they generate that, and they can start out, how naughty do you want to be? I want it funky and naughty, like down here, we want to be bad. We're all like, oh my God, if I don't get caught, and we got to run this, that. But if you get caught, you got this guy to come in or something. You're so naughty, here I am. Pay me because you're naughty, like, or put me, right? Here, I'm the victim of your naughty. I'm the victim. They got it all fucking wrapped up like that, so they don't give a fuck. And every motherfucker runs around. That's what they get paid for, to be naughty. And I already started that. You could see that with all the marijuana laws and all that shit. They just run it shit like that. Like everyone's got to be naughty. Every middle class motherfucker. When they did it that way. Your whole, like, your undercover culture, your caveman, your old hippie culture. Like, how could that be? Because you don't do anything with the economy. Oh, wait, you're all like, you're so much not doing economy. Oh, it's all your substances are illegal. And it's got to be run, and then the government provides them, smuggles it or whatever. But the thing, it'll generate it. All the shit that I get, it's just computer generated from the lawyer. That lawyer Aiden I had up in West Roxbury District Court sent these long ass text messages, and they're identical to what Google was writing. They'll look at the video and just generate. It's all the same shit. And that's even what Google so much wants me to have incidents and do stuff and have it converted into technical legal writing. And that's just their thing, and they wank to it. They're disgusting, and they run the fucking whole street like that. And all their fucking 911 calls, all their fucking shit. All their fake lying shit. So they're running the fucking courts. And they run people through their, like, to get to be a lawyer. I look at them, they're doofuses. They just run it with fake-ass people, like helping them get through college with their, writing all their papers for them. And like it's just suggested text, and you can click, yeah. And all the shit where anyone ever got caught, like, that's on purpose. Because, like, you don't even just rephrase. It'll rephrase and do it every other way, or out of order, and take that whole, like, logical train of thought and reorganize it. And it wouldn't be, it can do all the shit you're supposed to do. Like, just take it all and put it in your own words, rethink it, come at it from some different angle. But the fucking computer can already fucking do that. That's the thing. And so when these people are always getting busted, it's because they got set up. They're supposed to be busted. You know, and they're also on the hook, so I can always set stuff up. Later on, you can get in trouble. Like, you won't know that it's, like, giving you safe stuff. Like, you could get it for plagiarism or whatever the fuck. So they always got you on the hook. And, or even just for whatever the fuck, because they get rid of you, then it has to be someone else. Or however it works. They got all the shit. Damn, when it was my dad, my dad died. Look at those emails now. I'm sorry for your loss, comma, our loss. Like that. And then it's all like, you know, my sister-in-law, that was all a computer. And she went to Clark University, supposedly. I'm like that, and there's no way. It wouldn't. And I'm like, because I thought she'd be a nerd. And you have this issue, that, and it's all just fucking a computer running. And it'll even be, you get him, catch him, oh yeah. Yeah, he goes, you should even know. How are you such a doofus? Yeah, you go to the funeral home. Oh yeah, there's this app or there's something, even back in 2018, okay? December of 2018, so by the end of time, I mean, yeah, December 20, so it's like January, whatever, when we're talking. No, first or second, third, but some of it, or whatever, or maybe before. And then it's like, it'll be like, yeah, the funeral home, oh, there's an app that does this, or like, or your speech to text anyway. No, like condolences and something. Oh, here's how we talk. And it'll just be suggesting a sentence, and she just fucking clicks that sentence, this sentence, right fucking as she's doing it. And like they could say, it's not just like the computer, it's the person using the assist. But then you can just pull the person out too. And it just probably is a computer. And my aunt had my dad's sister had to email me then. I didn't reply. Said something loss of, and that's even on purpose. You're my brother, your dad, you know. Like, oh, that's all right. And I thought she was just being kind of, it's like family, like it's kind of like you're, you know, so, you know, my brother or your dad. Like with a computer. And then when you think about it, you'll know later. And that's even on purpose. Like it's just doing that where it lists it out like that. It keeps it on the edge. For whatever the fuck. However the fuck it works, man. Damn, man. So you can get into them. Yeah. Damn. So all that stuff. You see? God, man. Yeah. So we were living it. I was in it. I was in all this stuff. All that Kennedy stuff. All that Massachusetts stuff. Now it's back in Southern Illinois. Yeah. Yeah, it's gotta be. Then it makes sense that Kennedy, that was fake. he took off, or like whatever the fuck. However the fuck they work it. And they're fucking... Then she goes to fuck Cambodia. Come on, man. Seen Prince Sihanouk, and you know how he is. They're not like hiding it on a certain level. God, and said no. But I don't think they know. I don't think, just no one knows. Almost no one. He asked me if I think Trump knows. I went to that sheriff outreach. And I'm sitting there like a douchebag. This was on Tuesday, when it's Veterans Day. So I didn't know. I was wondering why the damn court's closed and everything. So I found out that it's Veterans Day. Because it wasn't like a Monday holiday. We never do Veterans Day where I come from. They just do all the fucking CIA shit, right? Fucking no, we never heard of any veteran, any war, fucking whatever, right? We're the communists, or whatever the fuck, or the sociologists. I talked to the sheriff outreach guy. He's just a burned out old Fed, that guy. And so he's like talking to me, and then he keeps, they have a fucking shit playing on the fucking TV with all the kids and stuff, right? Driving little like fake police cars, little toy police cars and all this shit. And I might just run that when I'm there. And he started doing something. How are you going to do with your life? And he started doing this weird shit. But he's asking me some shit. He does get to, and he said, do I think Trump knows? Like the Kennedy thing. That it's fake. And I'm like, I don't know, I may not think that way. But it's weird in the way he asked it, and the way I felt. Like, I think it gets to them. That's what I mean.